Okay, welcome. Anyone watching? This is the first week of the Top Text, Bottom Text podcast. On this will be me and two other people who will introduce themselves shortly.
Hi.
We'll be discussing...
My name's Gavin.
You did not get permission to speak.
Okay.
Close your mouth.
Oof.
On this we'll be discussing internet culture, i.e. just memes, video games.
Anything that happens to us.
Yeah, anything
Pretty
else
much.
that we're willing to share that doesn't compromise
'Cause who
our
needs
safety to the
actual
Soviet
material?
government. Okay.
You paid to say this, Davey? They threaten you.
I am not under surveillance by the Chinese government. I am in perfect safety.
Good.
Didn't say anything about them, Davey.
Okay.
I
So,
speak,
my
I'm in
name
big
is
trouble.
Gavin. I am Gavin. And this is Charlie. Charlie, say hi.
Hello, I'm Charlie. Yeah. Woo. Let's go.
Congratulations. So,
I know,
what's
right?
our first topic, Dave?
So our first topic, it's going to be Charlie talking about airsoft, since, as
Ooh,
you
let's
said,
go.
you've recently started doing airsoft somewhat regularly.
Yeah, so I started Airsoft a couple of weeks ago. It's good fun. Up in Wicklow, Special Ops. It was rather surprising to me up until a year ago to know Airsoft existed. I got my first gun.
Can
Which
you
was a good gun,
explain
by the
what
way.
airsoft is, Charlie?
Airsoft is like paintball, except far less painful, and use this little plastic pellets called BBs, which you might already know, instead of paintballs. And the guns are far more realistic, and the launcher bill is much lower.
So Charlie, you were before we did the podcast, you were talking about rentals and rentals. Can you explain the difference,
that-
please?
So, in the airsoft place I go to, you have rentals, which are basically people that don't own guns and who rent guns. So you have two types of rentals. You have rentals, which are fine. They abide by the rules, might even be genuine really good airsofters, just don't own a gun. And then you have rentals.
You say it the
Non-shot
exact same
callers.
way.
They run around screaming their heads off like, "Oh my god, this guy on your six," when you're like facing in when you're just like dead or something. They talk when they're dead because that's how being dead works. They also like to spawn peek and go off course for a bit. Like they take a hike all the way around the course, come round by your spawn, and just spray you to death. Oh, and they don't know that semi-auto is a thing either, or safe.
Oh, so rentals are fine. You know, they're decent guys, but then rentals are those guys. Is that a fair description? Would you say?
Yeah, sometimes you can get
Summarize.
rentals that own airsoft guns. They're just rentals, you know.
Oh yeah. So it's kind of like bots in games. They're not actually bots, but
How would
But they're
how would
bots.
how
Bots when
would
you put them on 10,000 HP though.
how would Speedsoft correlate to all this? Because I've heard some other people talking about whatever Speedsoft is. So Charlie, can you please explain?
So Speedsoft is like airsoft. You use the same weapons, same principles, except it's usually on a far smaller field, as far as I know, much more competitive,
Mhm.
and you use your mother's credit card a lot. That's the main part of the sport. That's a joke, by the way, because I'm fairly sure there are many great speedsofters that are better than me at airsoft, but still, it costs a lot because the guns that they use are really souped up and they wear all kinds of gear and stuff. Basically, speedsofters are often really cool in the airsoft world, spending insane amounts of money and doing virtually nothing with it.
So
Yeah,
they're not really
what guns
held.
do you use, Dave? Sorry, Charlie. What guns do you use, Charlie?
So I own a SEMA CM.045, I believe, and the plastic version because I wasn't bothered to get wood because it was
Does this have like the
€20
metal,
cheaper.
does this have metal components? Is the receiver metal or what?
It's got a full metal receiver. It has a metal skeleton stock, which is foldable, by the way, but I managed to break it. It has metal barrel and threaded inner barrel, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with plastic mags, and the furniture that I chose was plum coloured and was also plastic. My friend, fellow airsofter, also got a wooden version. My version I bought from Taiwan Gun at quite a low price.
Is
If you're
Taiwan Gun
starting out airsoft, I'd recommend you either go to them or Patrol Base.
I did
Warning
just look
with-
up. Sorry, yeah.
Warning with Patrol Base and Taiwan Gun. All the time being, because of COVID-19, it will take a while for your guns to arrive, and any other kit that you order.
Yeah.
Thing about airsoft, not only do you have to buy a gun, you have to buy mags, ammo, batteries, battery charger a lot of the time, and masks. Because anyone over 18 has to have safety goggles. Anyone under 18 has to wear a mask and safety goggles.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just for the viewers' benefit, I'll edit in a picture of what gun did you say it was?
CM045, I believe.
Yeah, I also just looked it up right now. From Taiwan Gun, the website that you just mentioned, it says $129.80 plus tax.
Yep, I think that's my one. Yeah.
Yeah, is that a
€130.
reasonable price?
Is that reasonable
Aye, that's
price?
actually pretty reasonable. You can get airsoft guns from the highest that I've seen was something like 2,500, courtesy of Airsoft Mike. Lowest I've seen was a Springer made by UK Arms. Damn
How much
UK
was that?
Arms. For €7. Do not buy UK Arms. For the love of God, do not buy UK Arms. If the smell of the fake wood doesn't put you off, the gun itself will.
Oh, well.
Thompson with an ACOG
Is
intensifies.
the UK Arms worth their price?
Yeah.
Is the thing, because if they're selling guns for €7, surely they're like, you know, worth their price.
Yeah, I'd say the benchmark for an airsoft gun would be 100 plus, maybe 150 plus. I try to get mine cheap because I was only starting. I'd say if you can, a reasonable budget might be €250, maybe less. If you want to buy cheap,
All right.
but if you want to get it from reasonable brands, then 250 probably be.
Yeah. So
Is
airsoft.
the SEMA brand a reasonable brand?
SEMA's good. SEMA make very good AKs. The ARs are alright. Although I've heard their AK is very good. I have one myself. If you want to get an AR platform or an M16 or M4, Specna Arms or Arcturus would be good. For pistols, Tokyo Marui are very good. High Kappas are usually good, but Tokyo Marui is a standout brand name.
So yeah. All right. So Charlie, you'd say airsoft is very fun.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
It would
Costs a bit,
Yeah.
but if you have money, it's great fun.
What's your biggest advice to like people starting up, but maybe on a smaller budget than maybe €250? Say maybe if they're just buying a gun, let's say, and they're starting up, what would be your advice to them?
Try and browse many sites as you can. Look for cheap guns, but always look at constant reviews, not from the maker or from the shop. Say I was buying from Taiwan Gun, I wouldn't look at Taiwan with ads. They might be biased or something like that. So I'd look for independent airsofters that review it, and I'd try and buy cheap but reasonable. So caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. If it's way too cheap, probably isn't that great. So have a look. Always make sure you do all your research first. There's no point in just not being bothered to look at the details.
Is there lots of reviews and stuff out there, like on YouTube?
Yeah. Well, what I do a lot of the time is I just copy and paste the name onto YouTube or whatever,
Our search bar.
and
Yeah. Come with some reviews.
Reddit has an airsoft base as well. They're quite helpful.
Yeah. All right. So recently I started playing Sea of Thieves with you two, and I used to have a pretty negative opinion of it, entirely based on what other people said. But I've recently played it, and it's really fun. Yeah, Gavin, do you care to elaborate on how good Sea of Thieves is?
Even though you may think, well, it's a dead game, it's an Xbox exclusive, it's probably unpopular. It's surprisingly populated, and like on servers, it's not just emptiness or anything. And I think they're still updating it to this day, and they're really committing to a game that didn't even do terribly well, you know.
Yeah.
I think they've added lots of new content. It's not, to anyone out there, it's not pay to win. It's nothing like that. It's not super scammy or anything. It's just it's a really fun game to play with your friends, and sometimes it's terrifying because players are scary. Because as I can speak for the collective here, that we're not good
Personal
at
experience.
combat. We're not good at combat.
A lot of the time, the greatest enemy is yourself as well.
Excuse you, Gavin. I will let you know that I have killed a total of 2 skeletons with my blunderbuss.
Congratulations, Davey.
Davey,
Now-
you're a pro.
I'm a pro.
Oh, what this FaZe clan wants to hire you for Sea of Thieves, a game they don't play.
Esports team.
Oh damn! But I think I think it only really works that well if you have friends. I think if you're playing
Yeah, I agree with Gavin.
going on a sloop, it's the smallest boat that you can get in the game. Just going on a sloop is quite fun. You know, you can get treasure, kill skeletons, and do missions for different people. For instance, the gold hoards, they'll give you maps and riddles, and you'll go out to an island far and wide on the let's just say quite open map, as in it's quite big. Even though there is a massive amount of landmass, because the islands are quite small, it's still the fact that the open world is so big that it sometimes does feel a little scarce. But I think some with things like the Kraken or having there's different boss fights, and with different events around the map. At the moment, the event is Ashton Wins. So yeah,
it's a really fun
Gavin,
game.
tell us about the different ships.
okay, so there's a sloop, which is you can do it by yourself. It's easily manageable. Sloop, like solo sloop, or you could do it with 2 people, which is ideal, and it's very fun to do with another person, as I said before. But basically, a sloop, it's small. It has a cannon on each side of the ship. Has 1 sail, so it's and the anchor is quite manageable, and it's quite fast to pull up, you know, and it's you know it's I think it's probably the best ship for beginners because there's not so much to do, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's not loads and loads of there's not loads of jobs you have to do. You're not constantly putting sails one way. It's only 1 sail and 1 sail to manage, cannon each side, you know. Then there's the brigantine, which is sort of the middle one, and you don't see these. It usually in multiplayer around the map you mostly see sloops and galleons. I'll get to galleons in a second, but brigantines have 2 sails. They are ideally for 3 people, and they would have they have 2 sails, and they have like a lower deck, as a full lower deck where you can keep loads of treasure and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sort of in between. I think 3 is highly recommended for a brigantine. There's not much more to say about that really. But the galleon, it's the biggest one, right? It has 3 cannons each side of the ship. It has 3 sails, and it's just, you can't manage it either by yourself with any less than 4 people. With galleons, you know, if you really want to win in battles and in combat, you want your 3 other friends and yourself, and get a galleon and just, you know, sail the 7 seas.
Yeah.
Now, Gavin, care to talk about some of the more maybe janky aspects of the game? Maybe negatives?
Well, it can be a bit glitchy sometimes, and when I think me and Charlie were playing recently together, and I managed to get so drunk I phased through a wall.
Yes, just to conclude,
Sounds pretty average to me.
in-game. This is in-game. In the game, you're able to drink, and Gavin managed to phase through walls, because apparently alcoholism equals no physics.
May I just...
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but may I just say, the fact that you can play instruments is very nice. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and you
When
can
you're drunk as well,
create an
the
orchestra.
instruments go so off tune, and oh my god.
Actually, speaking of instruments... Okay, there you go. If this video gets 100 likes, it'll... No, if this video gets...
We'll get Davey doing
likes.
solo.
I'll do a banjo solo.
You can't even play.
Because Davey knows how to play the banjo.
No, but they don't know that, Gavin. Shush. I can be anyone I want to. I can just insert a clip of banjo music, and they'll think it's me. Because editing.
Well, they know that now, Davey, don't they?
Yeah, but I can just censor this all so they think we said like racial slurs or something.
Right. Later in the podcast, I'm just gonna say, Davey tried to edit out his non-banjo playing skills.
Okay, but
No, why you do this?
okay. So
It's a joke.
what's the next topic on the list? Unless anyone else has any questions.
Yeah, I mean, Sea of Thieves, it's good. Don't just assume. This is actually a word of advice, just in general. Don't just see other people's opinions and just immediately adopt them as your own. Form your own opinions. Like, if you see someone give an example, like, check the citations. You know, see some sources. Like, don't take everything at face value.
It's really important to formulate an opinion for yourself, not for someone else. You know.
Yeah, I do that a lot.
So, you ready to go back to podcast?
We've been in podcast.
2. No, back to like regular speaking. Right. So what are we going on to? We going on to continue on Sea of Thieves for a little bit, and then we're going. Okay. 3.
We're just continuing on Sea of Thieves, man.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
but we're breaking the fourth wall, man.
okay. It's a big brain joke. I like that.
Right, I'll count us down. Right.
Okay.
3,
2, 2.
Same question.
What? Okay, meme of the week. This is hoping to be a recurring segment on the show, where we all.
We also submitted a meme that we found on Reddit and any places really.
Yeah.
And I think we'll put them up. Davey should put them up on the screen.
Are we gonna do subtitles on this?
No. Nah. I don't have time for that. I'm not bothered. Sorry if you're watching in Swahili, but we're not supporting your language. I'm very sorry. Alright, so who wants to present their meme first?
Right, so I'll go first.
So
Davey,
Charlie, if you'd like to put that into the Discord just quickly.
I'll do it now.
Thank you, sir.
Davey,
Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you're good at editing.
I'm very big brain at editing. I'm very good at editing.
Yes, big brain time.
Alright, let's
Okay, today our platform of choice is Reddit. Because I don't have any other apps installed on my phone.
When you
for
discover
memes.
gravity but can't attract anyone. Sir Isaac Newton.
F's in chat for Isaac Newton.
I've just seen in the comments, the hardest part about developing a gravitational theory is dodging all the panties that get thrown my way by 30 ass science bitches. You damn. Isaac Newton, powerful.
My favorite comment in this is deleted by deleted.
Damn.
Very powerful words.
Poetic. Yeah, Gavin.
I think he is a true master at whatever he is.
Yes, I agree.
This man's a player.
Yeah,
you
okay,
can
so
tell.
I'm putting it in the. Okay, so I got this meme of /memes. I think it is a true representation of the thing.
Anyway, yes, Gavin, meme.
Okay, so this meme is a true work of art. I think it is absolutely hilarious in every single way. So
Blinding.
It says Twitter screenshot, and then under it says
Reaction
meme
image.
reaction image. Sorry, and then
Don't
in the
forget
bottom
about your.
you'll notice a mematic watermark.
Yes.
It is a true work of art. I think it's the best meme that you guys could ever come up with.
I'm going to
Well,
save
come
this
up
right
with-
now. It's a pretty good meme.
Pretty good meme. Pretty good. And my meme, I'll just quickly put this in the chat.
Because Davey's on computer, everybody, and he can copy and paste much easier.
Yeah, no, but I actually
Copy-
can't do that, so I actually do have to link it, or I can just give the image. Anyway, so mine is. I also got it from r/memes, an excellent subreddit. Everyone, check it out. If anyone was watching this in the first place. Yeah, so I feel like this is a very good representation of Battle Royale in nature.
Okay.
Humans
Nice screenshot.
are born on hospitals. Bears are born on burrows within the safety of their mothers. Turtles, World War One.
David, maybe you should edit it down to the actual meme rather than the.
I will. I just wanted to make sure that I had the actual link to it.
Okay.
That's fair, though. They do be kind of spawning on the beach and getting spawn kills.
Yeah, they're about to get spawn
Yeah. Okay.
trapped.
So, guys, vote.
The drowned do be kind of spawn peekers.
The drowned come from the depths.
Rentals.
The merfolk.
Okay, guys. So, vote for your favorite meme in the comments. I think mine is glorious in every way. So vote mine in the comments. What is our next?
Hey, why don't I get a campaign poster?
You don't
What
get one.
is
You
our
don't, you don't,
next
you don't get
topic?
one. This is probably going to be the most important topic of the video. The new Call of Duty trailer for Call of Duty Cold War.
Well,
3.
I think that is some real impressive stuff that Activision and Treyarch, paired with Raven, have come out with. Just for the trailer, anyway, I think it's gotten fans really excited, as it does every year, for every Call of Duty. But it is Call of Duty Cold War, Black Ops Cold War, so for some people, and the trailer was mainly focused on the campaign, and I think there were some content creators, streamers, YouTubers, who got an early look at some of the missions, and I've been watching YouTubers and people the likes of Noah J456, and they said that had like gameplay from the campaign, looking at different missions and all that, and it all sounds very exciting, and yeah, I'm really excited. How about you, Davey?
Yeah, I was watching the trailer, and it's a very good trailer. At the start, there's like a bunch of flashes of images, and I went at pretty slow speed just to see all of them, to see if there's any little nuggets in there, little chicken nuggets, little Easter eggs. Didn't find anything, but still, there were a couple of little nice details. I'd suggest everyone go watch the trailer and look out for any little things that are in that pique your interest. The only thing is, in one of these scenes where Reagan was speaking, he did look really creepy. But other than that, and because of that, I'm only going to give it a 4 out of 10. The trailer. How about you guys?
We're scoring now. I give it I'd say an 8 out of 10, just because it's I think it really shows off the best parts of the campaign. It really has gotten everybody excited, and whether Reagan looks creepy or not, Ronald, I think it is a really well rendered face, especially a recreation of actual Ronald Reagan. So I think they've done a really good job, but I'm just excited to see on September 9th the multiplayer reveal.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the multiplayer reveal, Davey?
To be honest, I'm not so sure, because I haven't seen the multiplayer reveal. I don't believe anyone has.
No one's seen any multiplayer info yet. I don't think anyone.
Yeah, I don't think there is any multiplayer info. I was looking for anything, but there isn't really anything there. A couple of people were irritated or annoyed about the game like allegedly pushing a far right conspiracy about the KGB infiltrating America. But honestly, it's a story. It's not really happening.
Yeah, I think it's not. I think it's, especially for Call of Duty as well. It's pretty much a Hollywood movie, except playable. Explosions, KGB, American spies. All this Hollywood blockbuster stuff. I don't understand why someone would be angry about pushing a conspiracy. And I think that it's good that they have maybe a previous rumor something to base their game on, because it means that they have they've a bit of grounding. Whether it's real or not, I don't think it matters, because it's a Call of Duty game. It
was a conspiracy. I think it was about KGB spies in America, and it's interesting how at that point I believe it was the Republicans pushing this conspiracy of the Russians in America, and nowadays it's more the Democrats about Putin infiltrating the country and such. There's not a whole lot.
Do you have any questions? Actually, before I do that, there's some multiplayer, a few tidbits about multiplayer, because the game is up for pre-order right now. You can buy, and then as part of if you buy the Ultimate Edition, as part of that pack, you get obviously in-game rewards. For instance, like you get operators and skins or whatever. So that basically, it revealed that you get a boat skin for if you pre-order the game, which pretty much confirms that there's going to be some sort of sea combat.
That's a really interesting.
I think it may be Vietnam or something, right up a river.
I think for multiplayer, I doubt it's going to be in Vietnam, because the Vietnam part of the campaign is it's a sort of like a flashback from one of the characters. It's not confirmed which character has this flashback, but I don't think it's going to be a multiplayer thing. I think the multiplayer it's not really story based or anything, so I doubt it would be in Vietnam, and especially multiplayer, as most Call of Duty games, will be set where it would be set when the main block of the story is in. I think it's 1981 where the main block of the story is. So
Yeah.
I think the multiplayer will be set there, and there's obviously no reason why Americans would be in Vietnam
Yeah.
in 81. So
Yeah, my personal theory on why there's a flashback into Vietnam, or not why there's a flashback, but
well,
maybe one of
there'll
the
be
elements of the flashback is going to be the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which actually started the war, like in Vietnam, where
well, it's something to do with the reason that it's the only See, basically, with the thing is, so one of the characters just has a black. All the previous Black Ops games. Sorry, not all the previous. As far as I know, Black Ops One did anyway. That it had a Vietnam flashback. And I think it's a lot because they're really trying to go back to roots, especially Treyarch is who the makers of the Cold War. Um, so I think they're well for the start that, but I think the Vietnam flashback will be probably putting some insight into some of the characters' backstories. Um, and I think that's the main reason. I don't think that there's many sort of huge story implications. Just other than I think it will give us some insight into maybe a previous encounter with the main villain, which is Perseus, the spy that infiltrated Western intelligence, and basically the main bit of the story is to try to take down Perseus. I think the Vietnam DLC would be mainly about maybe a first run-in with Perseus or something by one of the characters, because I know one of the characters, Adler, CIA agent. He got really close to capturing Perseus, and it could be story. It could have the story of maybe that the Vietnam was the run-in, or it could just be backstory to some of the characters. We really don't know yet.
I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it for the first week of this podcast, which will hopefully continue.
Thank you for watching. Like and
Thank you for watching.
subscribe.
Yeah, follow us on Twitter at the TTBT podcast. Thank you to Westy Productions, I should say, for allowing us to use his music for our outro. And we'll see you next week, hopefully. Goodbye.
Bye from me, Charlie.
Westy on Productions.